That's a good question. Glass house real estate just sort of naturally attracts move-up buyers in Northern Virginia. A lot of times, move-up buyers that work with glass house real estate, they're coming off transactions with traditional real estate agents where they were maybe sort of disillusioned or they were left unsatisfied. And sometimes they'll bring that baggage into their transaction when they buy their next home. A lot of times, though, we help them understand and they quickly come to the conclusion. They know what they know and they know what they don't. Move-up buyers, I think, sometimes because they've bought a home before, they tend to think they have a baseline knowledge of how the process works. As it relates to being successful in this market, it's important for those move-up buyers to sort of take advice. It's not really answering your question, the logistics of buying a home, in terms of financing and moving twice, and all that is obviously a huge part of the transaction, but everyone's situation is different. The biggest thing I run into with move-up buyers sometimes tend to think they know more than they do. Maybe that's because the ones that work with glass house real estate, they've had bad interactions with real estate agents in the past. This time around, they decided to seek out an alternative business model and they kind of want to take the reins a little bit on their own. But once we actually get into the weeds of the transaction, they start to understand, okay, you know what, maybe it's a little bit different than it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And no one's actually showed me comps or pricing analysis the way that you have, or the strategies in order to be successful in a way where you are minimizing if you're carrying two mortgages, that's not a place that we want to be. How do we minimize the overlap between your existing home and your new home? How are we successful in terms of contingent offers? If you need to be contingent on the sale of your home versus when you buy your next home. There's all these sort of complexities involved in these transactions, and move-up buyers, because they tend to be more educated and they tend to have experience, they assume these complexities that weren't involved the first time around are something that they could sort of just get through. But there's a lot that goes into those decisions and a lot that goes into how you sort of craft a transaction to ultimately be successful in the way for whatever that means for them, whether that means minimizing overlap, being contingent on the sale of a home, or just actually getting a house.